Hello, I'd like to introduce Rachel Ward, who has run very successful workshops at Writing Events Bath. Rachel's written at least 8 books, and her first 5 books were young adult books, and then she turned to cozy crime. And she has just published her latest book in the Ant and Bee Mysteries. Rachel, can you tell us the name of the book and the publisher and show us the cover?
Right, yes. The third book in the Ant and Bee Mysteries, Expiry Date, published by Sandstone Press, came out in June, and that follows on from Dead Stock and The Cost of Living, which are the other 2 books in the Ant and Bee Mystery series. And it's a series set in and around a supermarket in a small English market town, quite similar to Keynsham, if you know about Keynsham. And my detective is a supermarket checkout girl, and so it's a cosy mystery series, but it's contemporary as well, so there are a few dark edges here and there, but a nice cast of characters that you get to know through the books.
So if you haven't read the first 2, somebody could just pick that up and enjoy it. They don't have to read the whole 3 series if they haven't got it. They probably will want to.
But no, you can read any of them as standalones. You probably get more out of the third one if you've read the first 2, because I've got a few threads that are sort of coming to a nice climax in Expiry Date, but it's fine to read Expiry Date on its own, yeah.
Okay, now I know a bit about cosy crime, but maybe you could tell people what it is, because I know that's the genre in which it's been sort of labelled, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cosy crime, spelt with a Z?
Well, I spell it with an S, but it can be spelt with a Z, and it's quite big in America. It's where they spell it with a Z. So cosy crime is definitely crime, but it's the sort of there's a big sort of spectrum of crime writing, and cosy crime is on the end of the spectrum where most of the sex and violence, if there is any, is off screen, although there's a little bit in my books. And I always say it's crime that doesn't give you nightmares. It won't frighten the horses. And usually there's a cast of characters who keep going through series of books, and you get to know them and you're rooting for them.
And I think I understand, am I right in thinking they're usually amateur sleuths?
They do tend to be, yes, they tend to be, yeah, which is, yes, it's a step away from the sort of police procedurals and all those rules and regulations. It's more likely to be an amateur detective.
So perfect for anybody who loves crime but wants to sort of curl up and read something which is also a bit of escapism.
Definitely, they're the sorts of books to curl up with a cup of cocoa and.
That sounds, with the winter coming, that sounds perfect. Could you read us a bit to give? I haven't read the book, so I'm interested to hear.
I'll read a little bit from Expiry Date. In Expiry Date, a factory is being redeveloped, which may give you echoes of the Cadbury factory in Keynsham, and a body's been discovered in the foundations. And it turns out the body is that of a teenage girl called Tina, who used to work at the factory 15 years ago. And my heroine, Bee, has discovered that 15 years ago, when she went missing, one of the main suspects was her own dad, but her mum and everybody else has tried to keep this secret from her. Her dad died 6 years ago. So this is Bee and her mum Queenie having a chat about things. There was an odd sort of silence. Bee was shocked at how unsentimental Queenie was about Tina. "Who do you think did it, Mum?" said Bee. "I don't know, love. I can't think of anyone who'd do something so awful. Maybe it was someone we didn't know, like one of the band or something." Queenie had finished her drink and was turning the empty glass round in her hands. Bee took a deep breath. There was something she had to ask. "Honestly, Mum," said Bee, "is there any part of you that thinks it was Dad?" There was a pause, and then Queenie looked at her quite steadily. know B. He wasn't perfect, but he'd never kill anyone.
A good hook.
Yeah,
So
hopefully.
you can order the book, you can order it, you can buy it in good bookshops, I imagine.
Yes,
And
good bookshops.
I look forward to reading it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.